He was walking down the alley with the stone streets, the old Spanish colonial houses of various colors stacked in picturesque rows. The sun was shining high in the sky, some clouds in the distance, the air damp and cool, and some of the people carrying an altar to Saint Michael. His friend was visiting from one of the northern states of the Republic, a remarkable coincidence they met in the colonial city. They sat at a quaint and small local coffee shop to reminisce about the past, the present, and the future. I had the queerest dream, F said, squinting and frowning, his mouth tightly shut. Oh, so tell me. The friend, J, smiled his mischievous smile that F remembered from his childhood when both would cause mischief at their elementary school. F took a sip of his cappuccino, the swirling pattern disturbed after F drank. I dreamt of this monkey named Chango. He was born somewhere in sub-Saharan Africa. To the normal observer, he would be an ordinary monkey, but Chango had it in his mind to travel to the north. He crossed the Sahara and arrived at the Mediterranean coast, where the ruins of Carthage are. Something in Chango told him he was to cross that sea, as an unknown land was beyond the wine dark sea. In the midst of those ruins, he found an ancient tall tree with leaves that could support him and a few provisions. Chango used the leaf to navigate the Mediterranean Sea up to the north. Chango used a long stick as an oar, and after days of rowing, he reached the city of Rome. Chango's awe was indescribable. He was used to the mud huts of Africa. But the marble walls, pillars, colonnades, and statues were a life-changing experience for him. He had never seen so many people packed together. The tunics and robes people wore, as well as the noise as he had ventured into the inner city, was something never seen before. Chango was then adopted by a curious boy who begged his parents to raise him. Chango became civilized after a couple of years. He was taught how to speak, and the officials of the empire were marveled at Chango that they decided to take Chango for them. Chango learned how to read and write, and soon he was able to have philosophical insights. At that point, Chango began to wear the robes of the patricians. Chango's ideas started to become more modern, akin to what we know of in the 20th century. Equal rights for women, slavery being illegal, etc. But those ideas were outrageous for people. They did not accept any of them, say perhaps for some equal rights for women, but no more. But that was the whole content of the dream, Jay. What do you think of this? Have you ever had a dream as vivid and coherent as this? Well, no. My dreams are always illogical and never as coherent as this. But I will be honest with you, F, as you have asked me to give you my sincere opinion. It takes time to change culture. People as individuals can change faster than people as a society. I think that cultural changes, like the ones your monkey protagonist was advocating for, should be given piecemeal, not forced. The people need time to adapt to a broad cultural change, especially when they are so radical. After Jay finished, F's face was as a scowl. His lips were turned down like a theater mask, nose wrinkled, and eyes turned inward. A few of the clouds that were in the back began to come closer together as F's contempt for his old friend Jay intensified, until the sky was overcast and gray. The clouds roared like a beast in a coliseum, followed by a few seconds later by 4 lightning bolts. One struck a nearby pine, causing it to burn. The people holding the altar dropped the brass Saint Michael figure they were carrying, its head breaking in shreds. A small boy with black hair and slanted eyes began to cry. The second lightning bolt struck a radio antenna in one of the buildings. The white light the lightning bolt created a signing of F's face that made Jay shake in fear. The third lightning struck a person in the heart, the heart pulverized, and gore all around the person. People began to run away in fear. The sweet bread a seller was carrying, as well as rag dolls and an Indian old woman was selling, being left behind. The last lightning struck one of the towers of the Gothic St. Michael's Parish Church. The cross at the top fell to the ground and was broken into 6 pieces. I do not recall what else occurred, as I woke up and realized it had all been a dream. A queer dream, and I'm not sure many people have dreamt something as vivid as this. Perhaps someone wanted to tell me something, or I thought too much about that book, about that Chinese monkey, Sun Wukong, who was born out of a rock and traveled to the west. The end.